What would you do if the people you loved most turned their backs on you when the world was draped in holiday lights? On Christmas Eve, I stood in the dim glow of my family's grand dining room, the air thick with the scent of pine and roasted chestnuts, as my father's voice sliced through the festive cheer. "You're no longer part of this family's legacy," he declared, his words cold as the snow piling up outside. My siblings, my mother, even my cousins, they all sat in silence, their eyes avoiding mine. I was 28, the black sheep who dared to dream beyond their rigid expectations, and now I was cut from their will. But I wasn't leaving without giving them something to remember me by. The story began months earlier, when I, Clara, chose to walk away from the family business. The Hawthorns were a dynasty of wealth, built on real estate and ruthless ambition. My father, Richard, expected me to follow in his footsteps, to marry strategically, to uphold the family name. But I wanted more, not more money, but more meaning. I'd spent years secretly volunteering at a shelter, teaching art to kids who'd never had a chance to hold a paintbrush. My family called it a waste of time. "You're throwing away your future," my mother hissed when I told her I was applying to an art therapy program. To them, my dreams were a betrayal. Christmas Eve was supposed to be our family's grand, traditional, lavish dinner at our estate, where we exchanged gifts wrapped in gold foil and reaffirmed our bond. I'd always loved it, the way the chandeliers sparkled, the laughter that echoed through the halls. But this year, the air felt different. Tense. When I arrived, my sister, Eleanor, barely looked at me. My brother, James, muttered something about priorities. I brushed it off, thinking it was just another lecture about my choices. Then, after dessert, my father stood, glass in hand, and delivered the blow. They'd rewritten the will. My share, millions, properties, the legacy was gone. "You've chosen your path," he said. "Now live with it." The room spun. I felt the weight of their stares, the judgment they'd harbored for years. I could have screamed, could have begged. Instead, I stood, my voice steady despite the ache in my chest. "You think you've taken everything from me," I said, "but you're wrong. I'll show you what I'm worth." I left the room, their silence trailing me like a shadow. Outside, the snow fell in thick flakes, blanketing the world in quiet. I didn't cry. Not yet. I had a plan. For weeks, I'd been working on something in secret. At the shelter, I'd helped the kids create a mural, a vibrant, chaotic masterpiece of their hopes and dreams, painted on a massive canvas. It was more than art. It was their voices, their stories, their resilience. I'd poured my savings into framing it, into renting a small gallery space downtown. My family thought my work was frivolous, but I knew its power. The mural was my gift to the city, to be unveiled on Christmas Day, and I decided they would see it too. I spent that night wrapping a single invitation, elegant and gold embossed, addressed to the entire Hawthorne family. At dawn, I drove to the estate and left it on their doorstep, a note tucked inside. "Join me at the gallery today. See what I've built without you." I didn't expect them to come. But as I stood in the gallery, surrounded by the kids' beaming faces and the mural's explosion of color, I heard the door creak open. There they were, me father, stern and unyielding, my mother, clutching her pearls, Eleanor and James, hesitant but curious. I guided them to the mural. "This is what you called a waste," I said, my voice trembling with pride. "These kids, their story is my legacy." I told them about each child. Maria, who painted a sunrise to symbolize her escape from abuse. Jamal, whose bold red spoke of his courage after losing his home. The mural wasn't just paint. It was hope, resilience, love. I saw my father's jaw tighten, my mother's eyes glisten. Eleanor stepped closer, tracing a finger over the canvas. "You did this?" she whispered. I nodded. "I didn't need your money. I needed this." The room was silent, but this time, it wasn't heavy with judgment. It was all. The kids, standing nearby, began to share their stories, their voices filling the space with a warmth the Hawthorns had never known. My father, always so composed, cleared his throat. "Clara," he began, but I cut him off. "I don't want your approval anymore," I said. "I just wanted you to see." As they left, my mother lingered, pressing a hand to my arm. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't know if it was for the will, for their silence, or for years of misunderstanding. It didn't matter. I'd given them a gift not of wealth, but of truth." The mural became the talk of the city, raising funds for the shelter, inspiring others to create. My family never spoke of the will again, but they started calling. Small gestures, a dinner invitation, a text from James. They were trying. That Christmas, I lost a fortune but found something greater, my purpose. I'd given my family a gift they'd never forget, not just a mural, but a mirror, reflecting what truly matters. And in their eyes, for the first time, I saw something like respect.